All right, fellas. Now, your first job every morning will be to sweep this walkway. Then, I want you to wash all the windows. Real good, too.
So happy.
Don't leave no streaks. Hey. What are you doing? Get the hell out of here before I bust that camera. Look, being a McDonald's people, we got this little misunderstanding. See, they're McDonald's. I'm McDowell's. They got the golden arches. Fine as the golden arcs.
So welcome back to another episode of the CVMK Show, because it is what it is. I'm your host, CVMK33 himself, Cody Brennan Marshall Kelly. Where it goes down the best content, because we cover everything from politics to sports to the faith. It goes down here on the CVMK Show. So, with my wife last night, watching Netflix and chill. And I'm scrolling through, trying to see, don't want to watch that. Don't want to watch that. Not funny. Why did they put this on here? But I came across a classic, because it's going to be a classic forever. One of America's, if not the world's greatest films. Coming to America. The first one, not the second one. That was 30 years too late. But the first one. And we have to talk about this classic. So I brought back the man, the myth, the legend himself, Steve-O Speaks. Steve, how you doing today?
What's the word? I'm doing well. How are you?
Man, I'm getting ready, man. I'm getting ready for the NFL. I'm getting ready for the
sir.
NBA. I'm ready for
the NBA can wait.
Yeah, the NBA can wait. But I am ready for the NFL, man. I want to see football. I want to see Patrick. I want to see Aaron Rodgers. I want to even see Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys just to be entertained by fallacy.
I'm telling you right now, Dallas go ahead and trade him. After what I've seen this week, it ain't good.
I told you. Did I tell you last episode? Trade Dak for who?
Who you say?
Justin Fields.
No, we not. No, we're not having that. We're not having that
because Justin gets weapons. He'll get CeeDee Lamb. He'll be in a winning organization, and he'll have a Super Bowl less than 5 years if you do that.
He let a grown man call him out his name, and he a whole leader of this franchise. Y'all gotta go, and he not gonna be a Bill. You think he gonna survive in this? You think he can't? He barely survived in Dallas. Think he can survive here?
No, he won't survive Chicago. He's not a Chicago guy.
Dakota can stay where he at.
Dakota is definitely built for Texas, not built for Illinois, but. Still want to see the Cowboys get a real quarterback, Justin Fields. I need to get you out of the Bears, man. You deserve better. You deserve better.
We building him something where he ain't gonna have to pay for nothing when he come in. He gonna bring a Super Bowl to him. I'm telling you that right now.
I hope he doesn't. I hope the Bears treat him right, man. Because if not, there are other teams. That's all I got to say. But we're here to discuss Coming to America. Because Coming to America, yes, has so many lines, so many great, just everything that we have to unpack. And first, let's start off with some stats. Throw down here. Film came out in 1988, year before I was born.
Lord.
Directed by John Landis. They spent $36 million for the budget.
Really?
Paramount and Disney was the ones financing this. The movie has done exceptionally well. I think even beyond what they imagined. And it has created iconic moments. when you think of Coming to America, what are your? I almost said when you think of garbage, think of Hakeem. But when you think of Coming to America, what are your first impressions?
Oh, mate, I gotta be honest. It's the barbershop scenes.
Oh yeah,
That's literally the first thing that come to my mind. You say coming to you must be out of your gut. That's the first thing that come to my head. Like, bro, he bags Cash Clay, he bags Sugar Ray.
right.
Like,
This
bro,
man, he's like, what's up, boy? He like look like a big bull.
look like a bulldog. He's just in the back.
He bad as hell. Oh
Bro,
my gosh.
Like, and then you just sit back and realize the same person is playing all of them, but the same two people playing everybody.
Yeah.
And then you just sit and bro, you know how crazy you be able to have a conversation with yourself and be funny.
With Cuba Gooding Jr. in the chair.
Yeah, he was breaking character. That's how you know a movie is funny. That's one of the main things I look for in comedy. I don't care how many cuts you make. There should be some form of cut where I can see you break character in certain scenes. It's just bound to happen. You've seen it in life.
Yeah.
You've seen it in all those type of movies.
Why do you think we're not making movies like that anymore? I mean, like cool, iconic movies.
Yeah, with everybody together.
You're right.
Yeah, like egos. Egos. I think that's the main thing. Especially if you look at some of the top earners in Hollywood, it's like they stand on a whole pedestal above. Like if I just say Rock, it's just like it's different brackets we talking about. It's like he in a whole different discussion when it comes to a certain type of power and money. So I think people don't want to split the bill, because even though I don't understand why they don't, because nowadays they're putting in so much money for these movies. Like you just said, that was a $30 million budget.
Yeah,
it's well over 100 now. In multiple, how much you think they spent for Avatar?
Oh, it's got to be well over.
Like
most of it's CGI.
Yeah, but CGI ain't cheap. So like, go ahead.
No, you talk about. I want to pause here. You talked about the cast, right? And you said his ego, and I really do think that's where it starts. I'm going through the cast. Let's break it down. Eddie Murphy as Prince Hakeem, Garcia I can't even pronounce her name. Beauvoir, Fancy from the Jamie Foxx show, one of the Rosebears. Victoria Dillard, Bather. Midori Bather, James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader, the original Darth Vader, and Mufasa, King Joffrey Joffrey. Madge Sinclair, Queen Aeolian. Sheila Johnson, Waiting Arsenio Hall as Simi. Calvin Lockhart as Colonel Izzy. Vanessa Bell Calloway as Imani. But then it goes on. Cuba, Clint, Frankie Faison as the landlord. I wonder if he's related to Donald Faison. Uncle Ray Murphy Uncle Ray was in this movie. What? Ruben Santiago as the street hustler. There's so many different. Just John Amos as Cleo McDowell, Sherry Headley as Lisa McDowell, Eric LaSalle, Daryl Jinks, Louis Anderson, who passed away last year, Guy Rousseau, Maurice, Samuel L. Jackson as the dude that tried to rob McDowell's. When you think about it, the list goes on and on and on. And it seems like, and I think you're right, the egos are too big, because I feel like it's double layered. Stars aren't that big anymore. Oprah said they don't make stars that big. But it's easier to become a star. So the entry point is easier because, you make one viral moment, you can blow up and you're immortalized. So it's easier to gain access. It's harder to gain validation. So you don't get the Eddies of the world anymore. You don't get the Michael Jacksons. You don't get the Michael Jordans. You get what I would say like mid-tier, second tier, or what I would call like not Iron Man. Iron Man technically did not start off as an A+ superhero, but you don't get that superhero level. You get, Hawkeye.
Yeah, it's just like, for one, just a generational difference, as you can see in the cast. I feel like back in that generation, people was more willing, like, hey, let's come together and make a masterpiece. Now it's like, I want to create my own masterpiece. And it's also the shows you see how many actors now that's turned into directors. Like, that wasn't always a thing. Like you said, looking at this cast, half this cast been acting for well over 10 years.
Right. So,
that's their love. That's the one their love thing. And I think that's one of your points is why you said there's not that many stars no more. Because, like I said, when I think of stars, I'm really trying to think in the male category. It's just like Michael B. Jordan, who I don't really think is that good. He's good, but he's not. But like a DJ, you got Dwayne. I mean, you got your Denzels and everything.
If you say stars under 40,
I'm having a hard time just
because DJ in his 50s.
Yeah, so it's like even the dude.
You got
names.
You got Thor. If you say under 40, Chris might be actually 40. Right. I think he's in his late 30s. You have Chris. You have Michael B. You have Captain America, but I want to say he's 40.
Yeah, he's probably
Chris Evans. Yeah.
Half of these people is pushing over 40.
And that's and Jonathan Majors.
That's what I was gonna say. Jonathan Majors, I'm just thinking Johnny's 40 plus, Tom Cruise 40 plus, Brad Pitt 40 plus,
right?
Harrison Ford 40 plus,
60. There's a Ford 80,
right? Leonardo is like 50,
right?
Matt Damon 50, Hugh Jackman almost 60,
right?
Yeah, all the people that's main people that's still the main thing, been the main for years. That's the thing. They've been superstars for years. So there's no new real talent, and if it is, it's almost like it's watered down. It's not hitting like it is. Especially in the comedy area. The comedy area is very hit and miss. It's probably 3 of them that's really making noise out here. But to come along to make a good movie. You want to know what was the last good black movie? It wasn't even because it was good. Wakanda? It was just funny.
Oh, what?
Meet the Blacks.
The first one?
Yeah, of course not the second one.
Okay, with Mike Epps, and I don't even know if you would have called that good as it was.
It wasn't good. It was just funny because you just put a bunch of talented, stupid people together, and then they made it funny.
Let's break down funny. Let's do a quick break by sponsors, and I want to break down what funny should be and what reason why we're not funny anymore. Quick word from my sponsor.
There's a hero in all of us waiting to be unleashed. All it takes is just that one last push. Activate the hero within with CVMK Global Supplements. All natural, steroid-free, designed to enhance performance, build muscle, and increase energy. You are unstoppable. You can do this. Become your own hero at www.cvmkglobal.store.
All right, y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store. Guys, I want you to get the physique you want. I believe in you, King. I believe in you, Queen. Become the baddie. Become the just king that you are. Best pre-workouts, proteins, everything. You get it today. Use code CVMK for 15% off at www.cvmkglobal.store. So let's talk about that. I brought up a scene, and I'm gonna share it because this
Blink.
Right.
Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis?
The Blonde Bomber. Now that was a great boxer.
Damn right. I suppose nobody in here ever heard of Cassius Clay.
He was a bad motherfucker.
Hey, I ain't saying that. I'm just saying I stopped liking Cassius Clay. What's changing the name to Muhammad Ali? What kind of shit is that?
Wait a second. A man has the right to change his name to whatever he wants to change it to. And if a man wants to be called Muhammad Ali, God damn it, this is a free country. You should respect his wishes and call the man Muhammad Ali.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
I say that to this day.
That's right. That's right. He gonna always be Clay to me.
Hey,
Not even fucking there.
He Clay to me. I say Clay.
Well, then you're a putz. The three of you. Three
You're
putzes.
putz.
You should change the name outside from Mighty Sharp to the Three Putzes.
You must be out of your goddamn mind. Joe Louis, the greatest boxer ever lived. I'll be with you boys in a minute. He was bad in Captain Clay. He bad in Sugar Ray. He bad in that. Who that? The new boy had. Mike Tyson looked like a bulldog. He bad at him too. He done whipped Mike Tyson there. He whipped all their asses.
What about Rocky Marciano?
There you go.
Every time I start talking about boxing, a white man got to pull Rocky Marciano out their ass. That's they won. Rocky Marciano. Let me tell you something wonderful. Rocky Marciano was good.
Was good.
But compared to Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano ain't shit.
He beat Joe Louis's ass.
That's right. He did whoop Joe Louis' ass.
Joe Louis was 75 years old when they fought.
I don't know how old he was, but he got his ass whooped.
Joe Louis had come out of retirement to fight Rocky Marciano. The man was 76 years old. Joe Louis always lied about his age. He lied about his age all the time. One time, Frank Sinatra comes out here and sat down in this chair. And I said, Frank, you hang out with Joe Louis just between me and you. How old is Joe Louis? You know what Frank told me? He said, hey, Joe Louis 137 years old.
137 years old.
Man, you ain't never meet no Frank Sinatra.
Fuck you. And fuck you.
Who's next?
There's hilarious part of the profanity. I know people gonna be like, like
Man, y'all watch that movie. Don't do that. Y'all, I know y'all watch that movie.
Right, I know y'all watch it. Like, look, if it's funny, it's funny. But let's break down why it's hard to be funny. That scene right there captures it in so many different things, so many different levels. First of all, Eddie Murphy is not just the interaction and the banter, but the subject matter. Talking about a great in a very controversial world because Joe Louis did come out of retirement to fight Rocky. He wasn't up at 75, he was in his 40s, but he did get his behind beat.
He got tore up.
He did get tore up in that fight. But at the same token, Eddie's is playing a Jewish man. Like that would get considered so insensitive right now. And there's levels to that when you watch, you be like, wait a minute, Eddie, what?
Bro, it was like 3 things he could have got in trouble for. One, he could have got in trouble for Muhammad Ali saying, his mama named Clay, I'm going to call it Clay.
Right.
I say that to this day. Of course, I'll be joking. But it's just like, one thing about comedy is that you can't be scared to say anything. You gotta be saying, like, the one thing that makes comedy what it was especially back in the day. Comics said what you was thinking. You were just too scared to say it.
Right.
And he was like, "Hey, I'm talented enough. I done did my homework enough that I feel like I can do a pretty good parody of a Jewish man."
Yeah.
Now, if we want to go down this rabbit hole, but insensitivity, y'all been doing parodies of anybody long before we ever did parodies of y'all. Right. But it was out of the notion of entertainment, even though it wasn't funny. But right. What we're doing is just looking at everybody has an uncle, a grandfather like those, just like everybody has an uncle that's a Jewish man. I've worked with some Jews. I work with Italians. I've worked with Italians so much that I'm pretty sure I could play somebody's Italian grandfather. Just because I've been around them so much, I study their dialogue, how they talk, even the way they think. And it to me, if you go at it at the artistry that he just did, I wouldn't take any type of offense to it because you actually did your homework. You didn't put on a false narrative or you didn't do anything to be completely disrespectful.
Right.
It was just, if you've been around some Jewish people, especially some people in the older generation, their grandfathers and stuff, that's how they talk. Especially coming from their country. They had a thick accent, and all that. So it's just like, You can't be scared. That's why things are not funny anymore. People are so scared to get canceled. People are so scared to attack things. So if it's funny, it's funny.
If it's funny, it's funny. And I agree with you on that. I think, and to your point, you're absolutely right. I think we are too sensitive. Maybe because we were so insensitive before, we went the exact opposite way, right? Like now you can't say anything. But the problem with that is so by saying you can't say A, B, and C, you left H, I, J, K, elemental P open. But the problem is H through P is not only not funny, it's just, it's too far, so like now, you got, kid movies saying F word. It was like, the funniness was not in the profanity. It was actually in the content. The profanity was just the icing on the cake that made it hilarious, right? But now you're substituting icing for cake because there's no cake there at all. The other thing is it wasn't a typecast upon all Jewish people, all Jewish males. It was a specific individual. And Eddie talks about his upbringing growing up in the neighborhood that he did. He'd have this Jewish neighbor, and that's who he actually inspired the character. Now you might say, well, what if he was in blackface? Well, Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface in Tropic Thunder, and, we let that slide. It was, first of all, it's hilarious. The movie is hilarious, and nobody should be in anybody's face.
It's the selective outrage.
But can you create art? Or is not art made to offend? It's not humor made to offend because it's not an offense as it is making fun of the offense itself, right? It's not to offend or to be offended, but the offense is what makes it funny, right? So now, obviously this dude don't go too far. I think, there is very silver lining with that and a very thin line. But the thing was iconic. The other thing was the trying to recognize who somebody is to you versus how they want to be seen, which is super controversial. And that's what I say, Mama call him Clay, I'm calling Clay, because in his eyes, that's now obviously we know that's Muhammad Ali, but he wasn't discrediting him as a boxer because he said, to one person, Joe Louis might be the greatest boxer of all time. Definitely to my grandfather's generation, he loved Joe Louis. He loved the Brown Bomber. You ask my uncles of them, it's Ali. You ask myself, it's Floyd, right? Because it's a different generation. It's not like one is better, one is worse. But it does make you think, like, have we gotten to the point, and maybe this is where we need to hit home. The other reason why it's hard to capture iconic moments in films, because you're not allowed to go there. You have to now check the box with everybody before you can put anything out.
Bro, because it comes a time, I say this all the time, and I just look at some of my favorite comments, like, I was like, God did Bernie a service that he didn't even understand because he wouldn't have survived in this era. It's just certain people that's going on that wouldn't have survived here. And it's just to that. Like, I think people are just way, way too sensitive and just don't open up to something just being funny. Like, some things, like, I hate that this world just becomes so uptight. Everything is just so uptight, and that's not what it's meant. That's what if we're going to a show, we're going to a movie, so we're going to escape.
Right. To escape the uptightness. To escape the uptightness. Right.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of it. So, yeah, like you said, I think all actors, all people that really is truly knowledgeable about their craft, they know the cutoff points where not to go too far. And we've seen it. There's been some that gone too far and they dealt with the repercussions of it. Right. But there's some that like now, like Cat can still be doing movies, but they're not going to do it because he's like, I can only be like 30% of myself. And if I'm not going to be 100% of myself, what's the point of me doing it? And it's probably a large portion of a group of people out here that's the same way. Like, I can still do this. I would love to still go out there and make classic movies, culture movies, but I'm scared that as soon as we put it out there, half of the time it's not even like put it out there. Half of the time, first of all, we got to rewrite it down, and we can't get it approved. And if we do try to get it approved, they're gonna try to change stuff. And it's like, I'm not trying to go through that process. It's not fun no more. And, I think all the people that it was really fun to is they kind of gone on the wayside. They're staying in the lane they want to be in, Like if they just want to keep doing club shows, they'll do that. If they want to go do podcasting, they'll do that. But I feel like, especially nowadays, there's a short percentage that actually love genuinely doing what they do, and then the other people is just working.
I agree with you. I want to play this because the other thing is they attacked the corporate structure, and they did it in such a way that it was like you didn't even see it. You don't even recognize they're coming at McDonald's so hard. But it's a play on the environment and like, soon I'll be up to fries. Like this idea of with promotion. Do not sue me. I love McDonald's. Do not sue me. But it's a quick word.
I literally just tried the best pre-workout on the planet. With Superpower pre-workout, you have increased focus and a power boost every single time you work out. It's not only packed with 225 milligrams of caffeine, but it also has citrulline and creatine. It's insane how much energy and focus I had during my workouts. If you're ready to take your workouts to the next level, then ditch your current pre-workout and get the Superpower pre-workout to be your own hero.
All right, y'all, www.cvmkglobal.store. Y'all get super thick. Men, get it for your ladies. Trust me, you'll appreciate me. You'll thank me for it. You'll call me directly. Women, get it for your man. You'll thank me for it directly. I want to play this scene. www.cvmkglobal.store. I had to throw that out there. I want to throw this scene.
All right, fellas. Now, your first job every morning will be to sweep this walkway. Then, I want you to wash all the windows. Real good, too.
So happy.
Don't leave no streaks. Hey, what are you doing? Get the hell out of here before I bust that camera. Look, being a McDonald's people, we
have another misunderstanding.
That's a little misunderstanding. See, they're McDonald's.
McDowell's.
I'm McDowell's. They got the golden arches. Mine is the golden arcs. I see they got the Big Mac. I got the Big Mick. We both got beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, and onions. But they use a sesame seed bun. My buns have no seeds.
Bro.
I got it.
I would have quit right there.
I would have right. Hey, no glove.
What is going on?
Now,
Touching people's meat.
You got to mop the food prep area twice a day.
Oh.
You know how to mop.
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, right.
There's a whole canister of pickles behind them.
I didn't realize he had a sad part.
Right.
Don't use the bucket. It'll just confuse you. Now, when you get through here, you take out the trash.
Yes.
Come with me. I got an easy job for you.
When you think of garbage, think of Hakeem.
You think of garbage, think of Hakeem.
But you two gonna hate my monetization for this. They're gonna be like, yeah, we can't do that.
Creep.
Look at this computer. Ooh, this was the 80s.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I am Hakeem.
I am Hakeem.
It's nice to meet you, Akeem.
I have recently been placed in charge of garbage. Do you have any that requires disposal?
No, it's totally empty.
Well, when it fills up, don't be afraid to call me. I'll come take it out most urgently.
That's good to know.
When you think of garbage, think of Hakeem. Well, I have to get back to my sanitation duties. Maybe we'll have a chance again to talk on a professional level.
Hey, so let's break down that one scene. There's a lot there. First of all, the copyright infringement on McDonald's and how McDonald's was just let that slide. Like, yo, this is funny. You could not. Well, I can't say that because in that one movie, was it Late Night School? They kind of made fun of Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They called it God's Chicken.
Yeah.
But it wasn't to that level. Like, it was the whole McDonald's layout. I mean, they just literally changed it to, McDowell's. Everything was the same setup, same colors. That's the original uniform. I remember that uniform too. They need to bring that back.
With the blue.
But it was really a play on the truth of retail work, and particularly fast food retail work. The tight space, the assembly line, low quality. I hate to say low quality, but it is what it is, right? And to the point, this dude is touching people's meat, no gloves,
Yikes.
There's a lot there. There is a lot to really unpack. And that's because I don't even think now they have like the actual skillet, like the actual front. Like I know Chipotle does because they cook it, but I don't know. I haven't been back in a McDonald's. I couldn't tell you, but
I don't know.
That's when they were actually really cooking the burger, right? Not just letting it out sitting under heat lamps. Right. A lot to unpack there, Louis. And then also you saw you saw what it should have been. You didn't see anybody old there, right? Mm-hmm. Like it was supposed to be, you work there, you're trying to build and establish yourself. It was a start. It wasn't like I saw a 60-year-old there, right?
Right.
It really captured, I think, something that is missing. What are your thoughts?
I think it was just a creative way of how the whole fast food industry kind of play off each other.
They do.
Because that's really just how they do things. They just kind of court things around, like Popeyes and like if you really look at Popeyes and Churchies, they're very similar. Mm-hmm. Especially in the old store, the store was looking pretty much the same. Even the layout, like the bathroom was always on the right. You came in. Even the way the chicken looks now, they want to accentuate how crispy the chicken is. So it looks they both look very similar, but of course the taste is different. And they change now. They don't go as to the full effect of how close he got to it because literally he had the M, they had the M. The M was just a little curvy compared to the other one. He put a dowel at the end, like. You just had to be a McDowell at this point. Like this was your destiny to be a rival against them or something. But it was just a play to show like how all people kind of play off each other.
It is. It's a copycat league. It's a copycat world. If you find a formula of success, people are going to copy it, right? Like it wasn't this mastermind, and I think it's okay to copy to a certain point. And I think that's what they were trying to say. Like, hey, look, it was still they have to operate it. They have to be serving the customer. If the customer decides this isn't for them, it's still going to affect their profitability. So it's not like, it was a harm, no foul. But at the same time, corporate espionage is real. You saw the person out there taking photos, and it's
a real thing.
It's a real thing. I wonder now, like, what would it take for a company to say, you're copyright infringement? What I'm saying? Like, what really would it take? Because if there's any degree of variance, you could say, well, we're not you, different colors, different logo. But ultimately, a burger's a burger, right? Like, there's only so many ways you could cook a cheeseburger, right? Maybe more sodium, but it's the same.
I don't know, like, because when I think of Wendy's, I think one of the first things they try to make themselves apart different, so they didn't run to that. Let's make square burgers. Let's do it that way.
Right.
Or like even like his little details in the thing, he said the Big Mac and the Big Mick is the same thing. It's just I don't have sesame seeds.
Right.
That little detail, and it's just like I think, and nowadays I feel like it's a little bit more easier to get like it's especially with the modern day judicial system. Like it's way easier to sue somebody and find a way to get money because it's gonna cost so much money just to have this over there. So half of the company just feel like if it's that close to them and they kind of have good case, they just gonna pay them some hush money. Like, all right, you got it. So I think most people try to stay away from it because, like, I honestly believe if this came out like a McDowell type movie, like if he was to come out in this movie, he would have got sued. That movie would have got sued.
Oh yeah,
so it was just extremely too close because I even seeing in movies like or TV, like I remember they did like Boondocks does a parody on a lot of stuff, and they did a parody on when like even though before it happened, the Popeye's chicken sandwich, like chicken came out and everybody got sick of stuff like that. So they just like they're real careful what they put it. They change the name of it, try to change the colors of it. But I think what they try to stay away from is slogans. Because one thing they say, if something sounds too close to something, that's where they get them at. That's usually what I see in lawsuits.
The slogan, the trademark slogan. What is McDonald's slogan? Is it na 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 na?
Bye bye bye. I'm loving it.
Right, but is that a word?
No, it's a slogan.
Right. I feel like if you like did a commercial, it was like da 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 da. Like
yeah, they probably got the sound like
the
that.
Sound.
They probably do.
Like
bro, you say ba ba ba, that's bad. If they bugs, they probably got a contract say if you even scat on a beat
scat at all,
that's mine.
If you scat,
scat, that's mine.
Because if Popeyes dropped something,
because Popeyes were straight. Popeyes wanted to scat. Them bugs say you better hum. And that's what they've been doing ever since.
Niggas slave commercial, man. Popeyes need to stop. Stuff is so.
And if you pay attention, a lot of people are just going away from slogans. A lot of them just getting commercials and they picking up cool songs.
Branding is difficult now because branding can hurt and can help you at the same time. And you don't want to make something that's going to age terribly. At the same time, you don't know what's going to age bad. It's like, I miss Dave Thomas. Like, I miss the Wendy's. Now with the Wendy's commercial, it's just not the same with the Frosties. I need Dave sitting there taking a break, taking a 15-minute lunch break and eating a double stack. That made me want to go to Wendy's.
Yeah. But man, now they just got little songs out that get you hit, you get your coat. Like for some reason, I know every time I know what a Taco Bell, because of the new song. I know, and I've been eating Taco Bell recently, and I don't even eat Taco Bell. Yeah. So it just like I think they're trying to get like little key songs, like because I be downloading some of them songs. I'm like, where y'all be finding these little groovy little songs that y'all be putting on these commercials?
They just need somebody to do the hook. They get Jay-Z doing the songs. McDonald's be right back. McDonald's the hook up. Right.
Right. Instantly.
Any one of them joints, anything off the blueprint, and man, McDonald's be right back.
The McRib is back. Allow me to reach in and do some. Did they just do that for the McRib? I feel like I just got that from them. I think they did that, if I'm not mistaken.
They need to get them back, man. Man, one more break and then our final thoughts on all this as soon as Hey, what's up? It's CVMK33. Look, I want you to subscribe, hit the notification bell, subscribe here, everywhere, so you can get the latest and greatest of this podcast content. Stay tuned. All right, last final thought. Why is Coming to America such a classic? I arguably say Coming to America is the world's top 20 films of all time. Not just Eddie Murphy's best film, but as far as all the cinema is concerned, top 20. I would say it's top 5 as far as films released in the 80s and in the 90s, even though it came out in 88. I think what made Coming to America brought a culture that was foreign to the United States, even foreign to a lot of black people, of continental Africans, and it changed the perception because stereotypically you would think of something of a poverty state. They came over as kings, as queens, people of wealth and affluence, and they interjected and intersected American understanding of things, and the humor behind it was transformative. It's a movie that is uncancelable. I don't care what happens. It is just a great, iconic film, and it should be Oscar worthy. What are your thoughts?
I just believe what makes a great movie is moments.
Right.
And it just has a ton of moments. What makes a movie great to me, if I'm just randomly sitting down one day, I should be able to just pop up and say something random out of a movie. That's why I feel like what makes some of the great movies great. There's too many moments in this. If I'm in a hallway and I notice it's a nice echo and I'm by myself, I'm going to get super quiet. She's your queen. And you just going to do the stuff like that. Like Randy Watson, you're going to start, I believe the people are my future.
Right.
Like you just, like anytime.
Or the preacher that wanted to tune up all the time.
Yeah.
I'm going to pray for you because I got a bomb.
Yeah.
You have gone high.
Yeah, so like every time, like he went completely off. Like he left Gilligan in that lion, Lord. I'm like, I randomly just say that, or let's say if I one of the things I've been saying, like I do a live stream for the Bulls, and let's say I see Zach LaVine do something stupid. I'm like, that boy good.
That boy good.
That boy good.
And when he say good and terrible.
No more good and terrible. And then if you just break it out, then you think of that whole scene, them passage, donation. I thought it was trash. You're tall, black. Like you just think of everything. It's too many moments. You even think of him when he first get there. Like one of the first things he noticed, even coming to America, is how rude we was. He gets in front of a taxi. You dumb.
Yeah.
After the sit, what do dumb mean?
You're right.
Stupid stuff like that. That's what makes movies great. I just remember a lot of the quirkiness. It's just too many moments that were making me just randomly laugh just by saying it random.
And that is why Eddie Murphy is the GOAT. That's another episode for another day, because you could break down Eddie Murphy's career and say unchallenged comedian, unchallenged goatness. I mean, like obviously I got Dave as goat of the mic, but as far as like comedy, all that goes, Eddie Murphy he's GOAT king until otherwise. Yeah, that's another episode for another day. Yeah. Steve-O, where can they connect with you, man?
Hey, follow me on Steve-O Speaks on all social media platforms. You can get me there, Twitter or X or whatever they call it now. NBA Central is what I do most of my work at, but check out all the Central fam. I dibble and dab through all that. Bears season is coming up, so we will be live calling. So y'all tune in to Chicago Bears Central is going down.
Y'all connect with Steve-O NBA Central. You know what it is? You got to connect to the best podcast here on YouTube and other places, because it goes down. I mean, where else can you get talking about the faith, talking about the beauty and the love of Jesus, the salvation that he provides, and then get a Coming to America review all in the same channel, and then get sports supplements all in the same channel? There's only one CVMK.
It's flu.
Boy, Instagram, CVMK33. It is what it is _show, CVMK _global. And until next time, guys, thanks.
If you think exercise alone got me looking like this, well, think again. CVMK Global Super Thick got me right. I'm obsessed, and yeah, I won't stop talking about it because it helped me grow in all the right places. Its creatine provides a fast and reliable way to increase your power, size, and shape, and it's scientifically proven to help you reach your physical goals in a safe, controlled manner. So if you want to increase muscle size, pump, and thickness in your muscle groups, you need Super Thick.